Episode 536 of the TV Dudes, recorded April 24th, 2025. The Last of Us Season 2. This week, I finally catch up on a show everyone loved, The Last of Us.
That's right, just in time for Season 2, we caught less up on Max's adaptation of the wildly popular game series. Will he love it?
Or will I be the Cordyception to the rule?
Fuck you!
Before we get to that, obviously I'm Les.
And I'm Nick.
And we're the TV Dudes. And you know a show about the fungus among us isn't all we watched. To the Diaries!
The Diaries of the Television Dudes. Brought to you by only the finest cocaine wine.
Oh my god. Les, what did we watch this week?
Oh my god, honestly, I had to watch all of Last of Us so far. And then for a separate podcast project, I am finally putting myself through Game of Thrones.
Just bummer watches for you.
Oh my god, for so many reasons. Yeah. So that's been most of what I watched. Outside of that, just in a bad mood on Saturday or Friday rather, and threw on one of my favorite movies to cheer myself up, Logan Lucky. I just love that fucking movie. It's so fun. Kept up on some of my Paramount shows. I watched Tracker and Watson and such. And then I guess the main new fun thing we watched this week was The Studio. What all did you watch?
Well, I mean, we did watch The Studio. Like, we talked about War last week, right? Or did we not?
Yeah, no, we talked about that one.
I think so.
The War episode, yeah.
Yeah, well, this was the first episode where I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm in love with this episode as much as the other Studio episodes. This one was the gala, or like going on the date with his
this
doctor.
One's less funny to me. Like, it's not outright funny. It's awkward, and I just want to, like, his girlfriend sucks at the start. Like,
yeah, well, she keeps mentioning, like, I haven't seen MK Ultra. I'm like, okay. And
he's just playing it like, oh, Matt. Oh,
but it gets to a point where, like, man, you haven't seen Fight Club? Okay, add it to the list, I guess.
Like, how many movies is that? 47?
47.
And you can just see her die inside.
Yeah.
Like, that's more movies than I've seen total in my life. Like,
right.
Like,
I'm
Matt,
not saying, man...
There's a you don't share the same interests, but there's an opportunity there for you to learn about the other. That's what's going to be fun on your dates. And then there's realizing the other person has outright contempt for your interests.
Yeah, that's the level of what we're dealing with here.
The episode where Holt's the bimbo.
Yes.
For Kevin.
Yeah.
That's how this feels.
Forgot about that.
Only she's not cool with Matt being a bimbo, and Matt doesn't understand. Like, Matt can't accept that role.
Right. No, he's used to being fawned on for what he says what he does for work.
Well, and I kept thinking of that scene in The Offer where Ruddy's feeling just fucking crazy, and he's talking to, like, the casting agent.
Yeah,
and she's like,
"No,
hey,
man.
We're the only two. Like, this industry, we all act like we're in the shit. Like, this is a war, right? And it is insane to everyone else outside of it. But also,
this doesn't matter to everyone, like, around them. But who cares about them? It's us in here. Everyone else is just a civilian.
Right. But in this room, you can say shit like that because I'm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like Matt getting Matt saving the shitsplosion is, to him, within the context of his job on a relative scale, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that has ever happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels the same as the worst thing that's ever happened to someone else, even if that thing is
they're totally different,
inappropriately different.
Yeah.
And like, you only have the capacity you've experienced so far.
Right. From
that metric, Matt does have a stressful job.
Cannot believe you think making movies is more important than curing cancer. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you?
Oh shit! Did we cure cancer?
I missed that. I guess I could go smoke a pack of cigarettes.
Go get us a pack of cigarettes. That's
right
great.
now.
You got that lick. This episode was just more like, I thought it was interesting that they put the character that spends most of his time bashing his coworkers about how they don't love artsy stuff enough. And then in this context, suddenly he's got to do what we've all often had to do at some point of just like, yeah, but I also like dumb shit.
Well, I mean, he's not wrong about, like, the Emoji Movie is art. Like, well, yeah, I mean, you can't pick what art is art. Like,
Right.
It's all of it or none of it. Like,
Right. It just is. And also, I recognize that like laughter's the best medicine isn't an oncology kind of statement. Like you're not gonna rub some dirt in it and
Mhm.
laugh your way out of that broke finger. But at the same time, he's also not wrong that even when you fucks are saving our lives, we can all barely stand you so much that if you don't put a TV in there, we'll just die. We'll just stay home and die.
I'll die here.
Like, and I'm not
when
kidding.
we say we'd rather die, we mean it.
Mean it. Like we will. Don't test us on that. But this episode wasn't as. I definitely liked the show. We were talking to Randy over the weekend at his birthday, and he's not in love with the studio. He deeply wanted to see. He wanted to see Matt make the Kool-Aid movie and like find a way to split the hair, like find a way to cut the baby Solomon style.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's more like what The Offer.
Right.
The Offer, they're trying to make The Godfather, and like Matt's trying to like
even Matt's doctor table thinks The Godfather's art. Yeah, but at the same time, The Godfather takes gross commerce to make it.
Right.
And so yeah, that's kind of what The Offer was about, and I can see wanting this show to be that, and it's not, because instead it's. We were talking earlier, what is this show trying to say with the character of Matt about art versus commerce in movies? And I don't think it's clearly trying to say anything. I think it's just trying to lovingly talk about movies, which is a fun, cute show, but it's not going to have... It's going to do what it's doing right now to me, which is have Matt talk out of both sides of his mouth from one ep to the next.
Yeah.
Because in this ep, it's funny to me on paper, but it just isn't. This isn't a guffaw episode to me. It is interesting to me that Matt is simultaneously saving the shitsplosion and defending art. Like he has to talk about movies as if they're all Kubrick, while also like honestly making something that's going to make the Emoji Movie seem
putting on the
legit.
like
at least the Emoji Movie had Patrick Stewart. You have Knoxville.
Well, he said he'd die on the I will die for this shitsplosion. I will die on this hill. So
and man, the moment in the gala when they show him the clip and he like send that immediately. Like if we have cut that, if that's close enough to get, that keeps it all. The part I enjoyed most about this episode was the pure inside baseball bit of
regional theaters are gonna.
Well, it's been like.
Also, Catherine Hahn finally gets to show back up again.
Yes, but like we know what that feels like to change a joke by tiny degrees or change something by tiny degrees, but try to keep the spirit of it. But no. Now we're not showing this. Now we're just doing this, but it feels the same.
Well, it's how we get trailers that are different than the fucking when the trailer moment or like. Hey, wait, why was that joke funnier or less funny in the trailer?
Or those moments where you realize that somehow this movie, movie X got all these gross scenes in because the things that matter to ratings are so weird. And like, yeah, but I watched that dude explode and blood hit 8 people. Yeah, but none of them swore when it happened.
Okay.
Like, okay. Yeah, no, as long as everybody says, gosh darn it.
But I swear to God, if I see one boob.
Right. Right. Did her tits come out during the rape? It's fine. And so like watching Matt have to like negotiate. Okay, so don't show Hutcherson covered in the diarrhea. All right, well that'll get us X amount to the goal line, Like, that's just such weird fucking...
But hopefully this is the last time I use this segue. Speaking of rape...
Oh, it's a non-consensual segue.
I watched the Girls Gone Wild, the Untold Story doc on Peacock.
I didn't know what you were going to segue into with that.
I just thought you were going to ask me, like, dude, why is Girls Gone Wild on your TV diaries?
I honestly thought Paramount was just shoving it.
Where did you find that?
I just thought... I didn't look at your TV diaries. I did see that Paramount had it up there as if I had watched it, and I was like, what are you trying to sneak in here?
Hey, what the fuck?
But I did watch... I didn't put that on my... I did watch the Milli Vanilli doc. So yeah, I have watched some... I just thought Paramount was throwing me docs because I had hit play on something.
Right. Well,
so anyway, what's...
Girls Gone Wild. Talk about a doc that...
Did not everybody enjoy their time there?
Talk about a doc that explains to you... You go, oh, right, that was a thing. And you go... And you think about it for a second and went, yeah, that was pretty sleazy, wasn't it?
That's exactly how I figured that went.
And the doc basically just tells you that is exactly what you thought it was, only the guy that was running it, Joe, what's his face?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I couldn't tell you his last name. I don't know his last name. That schmuck.
Yeah, he like the guy that Jeffrey O'Connell is not playing in Piranha 3D.
Yeah, Jerry O'Connell. Yeah,
Jerry O'Connell is not.
right.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the worst things that's probably companies that have ever probably been started with like a grandparents bond, like treasury bond they gave somebody for their birthday. Like I feel like that's where the seed money for Girls Gone Wild comes from. Like he just feels like a risky business schmuck that emptied a $500 savings account.
Joe Francis was his name.
Oh Christ!
So basically, this reporter, this all is based off of her interviews and research and stuff that she wrote a big paper for. I forget which paper. But she went down to Mexico to talk old Joe Francis's way. He's never given an interview before or since.
Goes that well, huh?
And she, you can tell she's like, I don't really know why he's talking to me. Like, because
there's a handful of great interviews throughout history that's like, do you know we're on the record?
Well, she's like, I just don't want you to write a hit piece on me. I want to get my side of the story out. You're not going to write a hit piece on me. And she's like, well, I only print the truth, Joe. And you're like, yeah. And I just want to sit down and just like, Joe, the truth is not helpful to you here, man. Like,
right. Like, cause you know that it's like they're both nodding like, great. That's exactly what I needed to hear. Is it? Okay.
Right. It's a 2 levels of reality people live in.
Right.
And he still thinks he's a victim. Like he compared himself to Muhammad when he got arrested. That was
solid.
That was after he compared himself to like, well, I fell down there. I fell when they were taking me to the courthouse, like down from the cell to the courthouse, and I fell, and I looked up into the preacher's eyes, and he goes like, son, what's wrong? And I look up to the preacher and I was like, this is just what happened, to Jesus.
Can no one carry this cross for me?
He fell as well.
So the judge came over and beat the shit out of
this
you,
guy.
Right?
Man, this guy is something else.
Like the self-delusion is
also the reporter. I like her. She seems like weirdly fascinated by this is a significant part of her life, and she did it because like it's honestly a good story, and like we should remember, like it's kind of like one of those things like, whoa, whatever did happen with that.
Like something about this just really piqued her interest in terms of what it means for
what it means for humanity, and she was just like, man, it is interesting to see. And you can see the fascination of hunting, like the hunting your white whale here. She had to go down to Mexico with security just because like he is also crazy violent and has like multiple assault charges.
Good God.
But yeah, for those listeners, if you don't remember what Girls Gone Wild was,
right?
Because you might not. There was just a slim portion of the 2000s, I want to say, where
late 90s, early aughts,
yeah, where if you were watching Comedy Central or like Spike TV, I forget which channels ran it.
Right, you got constantly advertised these order them and have them sent to your house videos. Or sent to your dorm room, probably.
And so the premise of the videos was that you could watch girls that they just went to towns in town.
The spring break you didn't go to from your landlocked pissant college. Mm-hmm.
They would go to Bora Bora or Miami Beach.
Miami.
Daytona.
Fort Walton Beach.
They'd go there.
Panama City, rather.
And they'd, with a bunch of cameramen and stuff, and women would show their tits.
Right. Like Mardi Gras videos. Like if guys with cameras or phones just walk around Mardi Gras, throw beads and get tons of videos of tits, and they do not get consent waivers for those videos afterwards. I bet, and you can immediately start to see where a company making money on this.
They start getting consent waivers afterwards, but they cover their legal ass there. Because
you'd have to start. Like you can immediately see the problems that would start coming up.
Man, they have a woman that runs the team. That is there, and she's like, yeah, I had to hire hot cameramen so the women would do more. And I was like, yo, the 2 dudes that are here seem to regret what they did and realize what they did was fucked up.
Right, what's the inverse of an Aunt Linda from
And she was
Tale?
Like, Joe would every once in a while come around. We called him Hurricane Joe, because he would actually make shooting way harder when he showed up, and like it was a fucking nightmare. Actually, when he went to jail, Girls Gone Wild ran better. And I was like, y'all didn't quit when he went to jail?
Dude,
Why was it running
honestly,
at all?
this feels like watching the obviously very different
Son of
thing,
a
but this sounds like
bitch.
watching the Nexium thing when you realize that the dude in charge is a fuckwit and the lady that's his second in command knows all the NLP shit and designed all the courses.
Oh yeah.
And like, oh, so you wouldn't have necessarily done all this without him, but at the same time, you're running it. He's a fucking asshole.
Oh yeah. Man, they had and then I forgot, like, because I didn't actually know this, but if you order those tapes, like, you could see girls making out in the commercials and stuff. Like, that
Mhm,
was part of it, right? Like, you and your friend would get into the truck and make out or whatever. I didn't realize this. Actually, on the videos, they go further. And
Okay,
actually
I've never actually bought a Girls Gone Wild
and they
video. I
actually
feel good
have
about
sex or oral sex.
that. Okay.
Like, obviously, the doc doesn't show it, but, like, that is what happens. And I was like, what? That's, and,
So
and
y'all
it's like,
really invented, like, Bang Bus? I
Well,
feel like.
well, that's the thing is that, okay, so that's porn, and
Right,
porn
that's
is
just porn.
regulated differently.
Totally differently, yes.
So, like, you've actually crossed a step here that is what gets you into legal trouble.
Right.
And then also, they just did not do any due diligence in checking whose ages
I was about to say, and
So
the,
you are now peddling...
if you think the tits on camera didn't get a photo release is
Yeah.
bad, ask the producer of Tracy Lord's videos
Right.
how that goes
But,
if she's underage.
yeah, oh man, like, hey, you got to be aggressive. You know, no doesn't always mean no. It's gross stuff.
Oh man,
They have
that's gross.
They had someone recorded one of their seminars or whatever. Like, hey, yo, no, if
what is the employee training and HR department? In that
if she
look
says she doesn't want to do it, then we got to stop. So don't let him say that. I was like, oh man, you were so
like? So
close. Wow, you really,
Oh man, almost.
you drove it off the cliff at the end. I
Jesus
thought you'd
fuck.
break.
Oh my god, yeah,
It's,
that's just not where we thought we were going to veer there.
Ah, damn it.
Man.
So, but
That's fucking dark. I do want to. That sounds fascinating though.
But then, like, how they go at him is wrong or whatever. I don't know. They actually kind of gloss over that part in the doc. Like, the legality of what they go after him for is kind of wrong. But then also he gets a 6 months or whatever. After spending like a year in jail, he gets a another assault charge for like 4 months or whatever. And he skips town to Mexico. He skips town and goes to Mexico. So now he's a fugitive. If he ever comes back into the United States, he's going for 3 to 4 years.
Right. Plus the running and all of that.
Yeah. So, like, honestly, I don't think if anyone really cares. It's like, we're not going to extradite the fucking Girls Gone Wild guy. And that was the attitude that made me feel bad, because everyone was like, no, everyone just remembers, like, and even at the time, celebrities and talk show hosts treated this like, oh, this is the Girl Gone Wild video. Like, it was crass. It felt crass and weird, but harmless, and like,
right.
But it hurt a lot of these women going forward. The cover girl for one of the Girls Gone Wild videos still gets to this day anonymous messages.
I bet. So it was literally, it hit the seam of the last few years in modern society where you didn't have to consider how wide a video could possibly spread.
So he got, yeah,
because like watching the Pam and Tommy sex tape thing, like that was the first time anybody ever sold that video on a video like that online,
right?
And so, like, TV commercials and 800 numbers and calling up to get them mailed to you, that's distribution. There are obviously thousands upon thousands of people are going to see that girl's tits, but not everyone planet-wide forever. It's always available as if you just bought it.
Yeah.
And like, that was the world we were shifting into, and I can't express how much that you could not comprehend what was coming.
A porn site actually bought all Girls Gone Wild videos,
That
so
makes
they're all still available. All still available.
Yeah.
As far as maybe they put some of them, they got taken down,
but that shit's just out there and I can't express. We'd never considered that.
No, that was what's crazy about, like, even at the time, I knew that, like, this feels sleazy, but never gave it more of a thought.
Sleazy,
than that.
but not in a destroy you forever.
Well, it's like it's the blamey victim thing that was very prevalent at the time of, they chose to go on there.
Like, you want to be drunk at Mardi Gras, like, fuck around and find out. Yeah, we were definitely dicks about it.
Mm-hmm. And that's how, like, a lot of these dudes were. Like, there was the editor of the video that was like a legal guy who was just looking through videos and to make sure if, like, whatever whatever was spoken on there, if it rises to legal like non-consent
Right.
of filming,
Right.
and was like, yeah, and he, oh yeah, my professor's kid was on there, so I took that out. And and then the
to me,
interviewer,
that means you know.
and the interviewer went like, so can you explain why you felt like you needed to take that out?
And why no one else's kid rose
And
to that
no one
level?
else deserved that. Like it's these.
Like, because that means you know.
You could see, man, you could see his brain break down at that moment of like,
Yep. Yeah.
because he says like, I'm not saying I'm a hero or whatever, but I took that right out, you know, because I
Cool.
took out one
But you
video.
didn't delete
like
all of them.
What?
You didn't just delete them.
Man, he got his start apparently on something called Real TV,
Mm-hmm.
which was news footage. Everyone just goes out to shoot a news story, and they just shoot basically everything. What ends up on a news reel is basically like seconds of
A whole night.
a whole life. Like
what was that, Jake Gyllenhaal, Nightcrawler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how much actual film is just left on the chopping room floor. So they don't really have, I mean, that's shot. So what are you going to do with it? Like, most of it's kind of just useless, like,
Right, but
junk
let's
or
mine
whatever.
this for content.
But some of it was because they couldn't show it on the news. Like, news wouldn't show them this amount of blood or violence or sex.
Like TV
or, like,
will, or yeah.
And so Real TV would buy that and then show that, like, here's you know, on the Real TV. And then Joe Francis was on there and did editing until he found there was stuff they wouldn't show. And he did like, here's what they don't want you to see. Television don't want you to see. Real TV doesn't show this. So he was another one removed.
I mean, I grew up with Faces of Death videos.
And you can see how he got to that, to Girls Gone Wild.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can see how we got to bum fights for a minute, which kids, if you don't remember bum fights, it's exactly what it sounds like.
God.
Fucking hell.
It's like 3 hour-long episodes of like
watching the last couple of years of the Freaknik in that documentary before it stopped for a while, and like, okay, this is getting way out of hand. That's a lot of sexual assault.
Apparently, when she went to go interview him, she had the recording device on, so you get to hear him and talk, and it's his defenses are like, I'm serious. I'm being light on how.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch this train wreck.
But also like, oh yeah, he never really gives interviews. So I recorded and interviewed him for 7 hours
because this narcissist will
I was
talk
like,
for 7
oh my
hours.
God,
Right.
It's like that's a work day, like a whole day. Did you take breaks in between? Oh, I can only assume you did, because actually the interview starts off with him yelling at his housekeeper. It's like, water. No, bring it. Bring her water like too, and faster next time.
Oh, he sounds like a charmer.
Yipes.
Man. Well, the Milli Vanilli doc was not as mind-blowing as that. It was a lot of the story I thought it would be, and then I would still recommend watching it if you barely or don't or you think you know the story of Milli Vanilli.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys lied and lip-synced, and they went along with it for 2 years, and they accepted a Grammy. So they definitely deserve to be called out.
Right.
They are also absolutely the
lowest
bottom of the entire
totem and pole
thing. Like they absolutely got screwed here as well. Once it was happening, there really wasn't a good way out for them.
Right.
And I felt like the documentary does a good job of not trying to portray them as the total victims here, because you can tell they became celebrity assholes. Like they were poor kids, and then this happened to them, and they ran with it. Because like you would, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But the shocker, the white dude that did this to them, nothing really happened to Frank. He's still alive. He did fine.
But what is the difference?
Right. Can't imagine. And that was shocking. I also didn't realize how likable the two real dudes are. Or at least Fab. Fab is a lovable dude, and he's doing great now and still out there. What's really disappointing is that dude can sing.
Mm-hmm.
His accent then was heavy French. He was from Paris, and so he had a weird accent. The other guy was Belgian. He had a weird accent, or Bavarian. He had a weird accent. But with coaching, they could have done the singing on their album is not Streisand or Ariana Grande.
What always fucked me up about that was when I saw the guys that actually sing the music. which is like
they're not as sexy as Rob and Fab.
Right.
Those dudes are models.
but also they're not fucking ugly.
No, they're not fugly. And fucking the rapper is from Houston. The other dude, they both live overseas. They were in the same studio. They'd send the musicians home and bring those dudes in at night. So they were in the same town.
Right.
Like you could have just used these dudes. And Frank, the same producer, had been busted doing this prior with a different band.
Mhm.
He just did it again. So everybody was like, I don't know why anyone believed Frank. Listening to the guys at Arista Records try to act like they didn't know. And every once in a while, there'll be one of them that like, where you can tell that like, so because of an NDA, I can't do anything but just nod my head slightly. But come the fuck on, man. Like,
I signed a
like
piece of paper.
yeah, like you're watching them point out like, so on their first, on the album you guys bought, read those credits. Rob, there are no vocalists listed in the entire credits of the album. Rob and Fab aren't, it's just not there. So technically they didn't lie. Arista's version says Rob and Fab sang on it. We're like, technically the only ones who committed fraud on the credits here is you guys, the bigger label, the US label.
Yeah.
And like, they gave back that Grammy. If they hadn't been nominated in that was the most, honestly, the funniest part of the whole thing. There's a minefield of who knows and who doesn't know in the organization for the 2 years that they're keeping up this scam. And you can see the stress on the guys of like, this guy knows, that guy doesn't know, this guy knows, that guy doesn't know. Who can you be yourself around?
Mm-hmm.
And technically their manager knew, but he's also the manager for like Madonna and 2 or 3 other big people. Mm-hmm. So he's not their manager. His assistant is their manager. And they decide not to tell the assistant because it's easier for that schmuck to run around venues and crap and sell it if he genuinely doesn't know.
Right.
So they have put up no shit Michael Jackson numbers. 8 million albums sold.
They were crazy popular.
That's fucked up popular. And the guy was like, so the Grammy nominations come around and I'm like, guys, I think I think Girl You Know It's True.
Yeah, girl.
Is a Grammy winning song. And the whole label laughed at him. He's like, the whole office was like, no, dude, not Milli Vanilli. He's like, and I'm their manager thinking, I don't understand why we don't want these guys to win a Grammy because I'm telling you.
That response would elicit laughter.
Right. And no one explains it.
Nope.
So he calls up the Grammy organization and finds out how to submit and does. Mm-hmm. And they get nominated. And the interviewer's like, so how much trouble did you get? And he's like,
so man. My boss
he's
got
like
a call.
He's like, so my boss's boss called him and chewed him out. And then my boss called me and yelled at me more than I've ever, like, differently than I've ever been yelled at by an adult in my life. He's like, and the whole time I'm like, why don't we want them to win a Grammy? I don't understand. Because they're just yelling at him, but they still won't tell him.
Right.
And it like, watching that dude realize that like, motherfucker, I did what? He's like, and everybody was just mad at him and mad at the 2 guys. It's a more fun documentary than I thought it would be, and just genuinely feel bad for one half of the group. He ends up like it absolutely destroys him after the Grammy and having to give it all back and just being hated. He does okay until they put out their Rob and Fab album. Like they put out an album themselves.
Uh-huh.
It's fine. It's not any worse than anything else that came out in fucking 1989 or not, like
sure.
It's fine, but absolutely got no traction. And after that, dude just craters. And it's sad. He ODs in like 94.
Yeeps. I mean, I never got like, I guess when you have musicians as being cult like icons like Taylor Swift and Beyonce, that's something you can cultivate. But like nowadays, like, man, you have things like Gorillaz and Daft Punk of where like a whole persona. You don't even really need like a real live person.
When throughout the whole documentary, they keep trying to explain that like, we're mad at these 2 guys, but in order for this to have worked in the industry, this cannot be unusual. It's not that weird to have backing tracks. It's not that weird to have other people sing. It's like... And you could see in the whole time of all these industry people being like, the most stunning thing to them is that this didn't reveal kayfabe the way that wrestling gets busted a few years later.
Yeah.
And we all rolled with it. Like wrestling's fake was about for like a year. Did you know wrestling's fake? Yes.
Right.
Are we all mad? And it turns out we weren't. We're fine.
Right.
But in the same way, like, I can't believe Milli Vanilli didn't reveal that, like, auto-tune exists.
For a while, it felt like we won't be able to survive if children realize Santa is real,
Right.
Like, or if Santa isn't real,
Right.
Like,
and like, no, it works out. It's fine. But yeah, you could just see a lot of industry people that are like, so clearly Arista was ready to help deal with this because this can't be that unusual. And that was
they played at the Grammy performances,
right.
like,
Right. Oh God, man, when the Grammys later are like, we were duped, and that cuts to the lady in the German label that actually runs them and is like, do you know how much we paid them so that their sound guy would set up?
You.
Like, their sound guy had to set up the tape player to play the backing tracks. So who did that without them knowing? And I was like, shit, yeah, you're dead right. Like, this lady has receipts. She is also the one that finds Rob dead, and you can see it. She is very culpable in what happened to them, and it's hard to be sympathetic for her, but you can see that it fucked her up.
Yeah.
It's you're kind of sitting there going, all right, I feel a little bit bad for you, but also good, lady. You should feel horrible for how you wrecked these fucking dudes. But really, Frank should. They don't. The guy that he refuses to be smarter than the Girls Gone Wild dude refuses to be interviewed on camera.
Right. Yeah. Smart move.
Yeah, those trips down memory lane are I think most of what we did this week.
Yeah, other than that, like, speaking of disinformation and trying to keep state secrets or whatever, I did watch a lot of Chernobyl after watching Last of Us, because this is the same showrunner?
Yes, like, Craig Mazin. From the man that brought you Scary Movie 4, Hangover 3.
That was definitely the most Chernobyl I've ever watched.
Rocket Man, no, the other one.
The other one. One of these things is not like the other.
I love saying all this because he's written great shit, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think he's one of the shining examples of writers are writers. Get good at your craft, and I don't pigeonhole people.
Well, the man, Chernobyl is definitely like
so bleak.
I definitely got a lot more watch just because I was editing during it and kind of half watching too, because like just paying attention is just like, hey, do you taste metal?
That guy's being a dick. He's gonna throw up blood in a couple of scenes.
Well, you having any foreknowledge at all, you're like, man, I'm watching everyone on screen slowly die.
Well, like you said, every episode is, I think we've got a problem. No, the problem's a million times worse than you think. Credits. Next episode. So the problem's a million times worse. No, it's a billion times worse than that. Credits. Like every episode.
Everyone ends with a motherfucker. Well, like, I know the earth doesn't turn to a cinder, so eventually we get this right, don't we? Jesus. Also, like, I don't even know.
I'm honestly amazed no one suggests nuking Chernobyl from orbit.
Honestly, I don't know why. Like, man, I don't even know why you have these planning meetings. Every time the answer is the goddamn same. Let's throw more humans at it.
Right. And at some point during the meeting, somebody goes, "Fuck you. What's your agenda here? That number's made up.
Right.
That's outside of the range."
All right.
Yeah, no,
so...
I know. So what did your meter say? My meter melted in my hand, and then my hand melted. I've killed you all being in this room with you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
My bad.
But yeah, the graphite on the roof of the building, they're trying to move with a moon rover because a robotic thing is too heavy to get on the roof, right? So the moon rover is the only thing in the fucking world that'll actually like withstand the radiation and go. But the reason they think it'll withstand the radiation is because the German scientists who made it told them so. And because the Russian state government or whatever is trying to hide about how bad the reaction
they've undersold the numbers.
So they said like it's 2,000 Roentgens and the real number is like 20,000.
Right. Well,
So,
yeah,
like,
then that'll hold up.
So like, and so they're sitting here like, so there's no robot on this planet that'll do it.
Yeah. So then if we given them the real numbers, then there's nothing on Earth. When the guy's like, so is that rooftop now the most dangerous spot on the entire planet?
It's just on the entire face of this Earth.
In history.
And so what the answer ends up being is, all right, so we use biorobots. And like, and it is dark because obviously someone goes, what the fuck are biorobots? And he goes, people. We use fucking people. And it's basically like, oh, circuits, anything with circuitry that's more complex than a light switch is going to melt down and break at that level of radiation. So we need something that takes longer to short out. And unfortunately, human biology is actually pretty sophisticated.
We are remarkably tough.
Yeah. And so they go, and man, they started this thing with like, hey, yo, man, you said we couldn't use dudes to go grab that graphite and throw it off. You said we couldn't do that. No, I said that if they touched it, they'd die.
Right. Right.
So if we gear them up and put them into shovels,
I said it's our worst idea, but that was before I realized all the other ideas won't work at all.
Man, I was just trying to save some lives there, right. But also we need to get this like fucking like we gotta get this contained.
No, I need every expendable person on this side of the continent to grab a shovel.
Also, just Russian as fuck as everyone like does. They go to a bunch of coal miners to dig a goddamn tunnel because otherwise this radiation is going to contaminate the water supply. And they're like, okay, so you want this whole like 6 feet deep, 12 feet deep. Why do you want it that deep? Radiation, so it'll protect you guys, honestly. Well, the entrance to the tunnel won't be 12 feet deep, will it?
Right.
Nope. It will not.
No, it will not. It will not. So you can either be in the tunnel safe or anywhere else not safe.
Yeah, so like, okay, so you can start in the morning. Bitch, I'll start now. I don't want my guys to stay. And all the Russians are like, man, low-level, blue-collar Russians are saving the world by throwing themselves onto grenades. Like,
one after another.
It feels very of the Russian people of like, because we only have dipshits in charge. It comes to the common man, a bunch of common men, to sacrifice themselves.
It's like Eeyore nationalism.
Like,
okay.
Hey, yo, man, it's too hot down there. We need fans. Okay, so the fans are going to kick up dust, and we can't I breathed in dust my entire life. I'm a coal miner. Not this dust.
No, man. Trust me, you want this back down.
So they end up fucking mining it naked. What? Clothes are hot.
Man, when they give Barry Q, whatever his name is, the fucking aluminum foil around whatever piece of metal crotch guard, like put that on. What? Why? Like,
oh, you want to have kids again?
I don't know, man. Just on the off chance we live 5 more years, I want you to have a kid that isn't inside out.
Right. Oh man,
the fuck, man.
Skarsgård and what's his name as like the main scientist.
Mm-hmm. It's Jared Harris.
Jared Harris, that's what it is. They're basically like, hey man, this fucking city has like 50,000 people in it. We need to evacuate it. Like, well, we're here, and we'll be dead in 5 years.
Right.
What? Oh, right.
My bad. I'm sorry.
So honestly, like that was true by the time we stepped over here. So like I kind of like lost track of it in the things I was supposed to tell you. You know how it is.
Right. There's really no point in bringing that up now.
But also it is like a bunch of people yelling at each other because no one wants to accept just basic realities.
Right.
Hey, yo, man, the nuclear reactor fucking blew up. That's impossible. Nuclear reactors don't blow up. Go up top and check it. You mean up top to where all the radiation is pouring out? I
mean, I walked around where the building used to be.
No. I told you the reactor's gone.
What do you mean gone? That's not possible.
I don't need to walk up there to do it. He walks, so they basically at gunpoint force him to walk up there. He comes back down a tomato fucking burn victim, and basically they start yelling at him as he's corpsifying.
Right. No,
no, you're still wrong.
Like, he's like melting like the I'd buy that for $1, dude, and like
get off me, man. And then before we hit to our main event, I think I just got to mention I watched a bunch of riff tracks.
Oh yeah,
which was like Grizzly was one of those.
Man, I caught a couple. The riff tracks are sharp.
I love that the guy was riding on a fucking horse, and it was like this is a weird speed for this horse. It was like somehow in the middle, like it is not fast enough and indoors slow enough, like not at a trot. You got to pick a fucking lane here, like a speed here, man. Either Marie Antoinette or Christopher Reeves.
Oh no, it's Catherine the Great or
Catherine the Great or Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, either fuck it or fall off it, but pick one. Yeah, that was solid. Like I came to a stop of like, wait, what?
It was like fucking savage.
That's vicious, man.
But the creme de la creme had to have been the Gumby movie, which was like,
oh yeah, you started describing that.
You can watch the Gumby movie without the riff tracks on. It is a fucking trippy, ballsy movie. Like, the Gumby lives in a toy store, but also he can go into the books and cassette tapes inside them and like into different worlds. His dog can cry pearls when it's sad, but he's only sad when Gumby changes forms, which Gumby does kind of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then but also it's also a real estate movie because their parents or whatever is about to gonna lose a farm or something, like a bunch of farm people are about to lose their land. And I'm like, what land? What farm? You're in a toy store, canonically.
The dog's name is Nopey. He only says nope.
Nope. Okay, I thought it was Opie.
Nope.
Nopey. Okay.
Wow, I didn't realize that. I was like, what's the dog's name?
I thought it was Low Belly.
Pokey.
Pokey? No,
So
that's
there's also Low Belly.
Okay.
There's Nopey, there's Low Belly.
Okay.
I've never seen Nopey.
Pokey's the horse.
I've
No,
never
I don't know
seen
what that
Nopey.
is. I never seen Nopey. I seen Low Belly. The one
Low
with the
Belly.
skateboard. He's got a skateboard.
Yeah. And then Pokey's the guy I think of, the orange horse. Yeah.
Also, like, the claymation gives it a kind of horrifying,
Oh man.
like, weird, like, every other scene or whatever is kind of like a horrifying existential, like, dread thing of, like, watching Gumby's head split in half via a sword.
Right.
Like,
No, even as a kid, like I love claymation, but there's also just something wrong about it.
Jason and the Argonauts.
I think it's what I like about it. Like as a kid, the same way that like Watership Down and Dark Crystal and Secret of Nim,
Yeah.
there were children's movies that weren't terrifying, but why? Who gives a fuck? I don't want
cares
to watch
about
those.
any of
Who's with
those?
Gumby was not good, but it's strange.
In a way that, yeah, like, and then so the blockheads decide they're gonna get all this gold from or all this money from the pearls again because
You can make this horse cry and
there's
makes
an
money.
economy in this toy store that also has farmland who they're being produced, music producer by Groucho Marx looking motherfucker. Who,
the fuck?
So they decide, aha, I know what it is. We'll play the music because they think the music's the thing that making the dog cry. But nope, it's not the music. Okay, well, let's build robots versions of the band and then have them play live, and then it'll cry. And I was like, man, you jumped so much from plan A
I
to
love this
plan.
plan, but how did we get here?
I can't believe this was the simplest next step.
Right. Yeah. No, if kids today wonder why there are so many Candle Cove type plots floating around out there in like modern TV and stuff,
Mhm.
like it's because almost all children's entertainment prior to like 1990 is just pants shittingly terrifying.
Man, I didn't even like the movie starts
Or
with
80, I should say.
the movie starts with a bunch of characters falling over. Pokey, the yellow lizard, and Gumby's blue sister,
Mhm.
and they fall over together and then end up getting smushed together clay style into a ball. And then they have to actually go to a doctor and get surgery again in this canonical toy store.
Also, I can't express enough how there is no doctor that can fix that if you do that with your Play-Doh. I checked with my mom when I was a kid.
Where
Once you've done
is
that, it's
this? Where does Gumby take place? There's a fire department.
Right. Seriously, what is the town economy here? Whose taxes pay these people?
What are they farming? From where? What
I have
soil?
questions and they're not the questions I thought I'd have.
Are the farms in agriculture books? If so, why are agriculture books in the kids' story store?
I didn't even consider that. Oh my god, is Gumby somehow like the feudal lord of a bunch of fictional lands?
I don't.
Like this terrifying gum man that steals all of your crops?
He ends up going to like a medieval Arthur thing, and like to where the sword and the stone is the only sword left in the blacksmith's fresh out, but there's one sword left in all the kingdom, man. And Gumby goes to get it and like can't lift it out, but the robot has robot strength, so he can pull it out. And I was like, but that's not how the sword.
That's not how that works.
That's not how it works. That means the robot is somehow more worthy of being the king of Inland than fucking Robo.
Right.
Don't be wrong. Gumby
No,
and
that
Robo.
feels like a Rick solution where like my robot is now king.
Don't get me wrong. Gumby
Sword
and
Puller
Robo Gumby
2000.
should both not be able to lift the sword, but if either they both are or they both aren't. I don't understand why Robo Gumby is more like
All hail King Sword Puller 2000.
just genuinely insane.
That is fucking crazy.
Take me away, oh Gumby. You do something to my chemistry. Take me away.
But that seems like a good time to mention our Patreon,
Indeed.
where we get up to some weird stuff there too.
Indeed. This week, we are going to stay home, watch some streamings.
What?
We're going to catch a G20,
Okay.
which is a continuation of the Viola Davis action universe, which I'm fucking here for.
Uh-huh.
I love this era of her. Her and Charlize Theron. Just
Yeah.
burn it out until they don't want to do them anymore. How'd you put it? Amanda Waller's origin story?
Oh, either that or Amanda Waller becomes president.
I'm down for either.
But she's kind of
That's
nice.
terrifying.
She's kind of nicer in this one, so I want it to be like her origin story, but she's also president. Like, so.
Speaks a lot to the State of the Union that I'd take Amanda Waller as president right
Well,
now.
I mean, I feel like
At least there's a competency
there's
there.
a competency, you know? Like, she'd violate civil rights knowingly and on purpose.
Right. Oh my God. Do I really want smart evil instead of dumb evil? Is that where we are? Fuck.
I don't know. One is easier to fight, but also...
But either way, come see what we thought about G20 over on patreon.com/TV Dudes. $1 an episode, you get a bunch of bonus content each week.
Do it!
You can throw down $5. We'll read your review. If you had some thoughts about G20, we'll read them aloud on the show. And then for $20, one-time donation, you get to pick what show we talk about on the main episode.
What?
So here on the real episode, we'll talk about 4 episodes or whatever you want.
That much power in one person's hand?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. But yeah, patreon.com/TV Dudes. Come check it out.
Well, I see. The TV Dudes is now an oligarchy as well.
I wish it'd be an oligarchy.
$20 and we'll be reviewing the graphite fucking thing off the roof of the TV channel. God damn it!
Right. We will shovel.
Oh no!
We'll shovel 4 episodes of whatever radioactive shit you want.
All right, but with that out of the way, let's get to some upbeat stuff.
Woohoo!
Let's change it. Just really change the mood around here and get excited because we're talking The Last of Us Season 2 on Max.
This is where we live. And what's that?
The fence.
And what's inside?
People.
What's outside?
Monsters. You swore.
The Last of Us is an American post-apocalyptic drama television series created by Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann for HBO. Based on the video game franchise by Naughty Dog, the series is set 20 years into a pandemic caused by a mass fungal infection, which causes its host to transform into zombie-like creatures, causes the collapse of society. We follow Joel, played by Pedro Pascal, and Ellie, played by Bella Ramsey, as they travel across the United States in the first season, which is based on the first game, Last of Us. And then in the second season, where we are now, based on part 2, they have settled in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, with Joel's brother Tommy.
I wish they had a better name than Jackson Hole.
Yeah, that's just the name of that fucking town.
Jack Hole.
So I watched the pilot of this when it first aired, when we talked about it, and it is great. It's really great. It's really good television. I deeply haven't been in the mood to watch a post-apocalypse show. I didn't know what we were getting into with Paradise, and then ended up just having a lot of fun with it because it's not about wandering around the road with your kid that cannibals want to eat. It's not a Cormac McCarthy vibe, nor really somehow is Fallout.
Yeah,
but this feels like something between Chernobyl and Walking Dead. And no matter how good it was done, I just really was never in the mood to like, oh man, this is the week. Let's bum it out.
Right.
And honestly, I also have a chip on my shoulder after, like, I don't know, the 50th or 100th person tells me that something is a flawless gem. I'm just going la 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 la.
Well, it's funny that like Naughty Dog has a weird history of like they're the Crash Bandicoot guys, and then they made Jack and Daxter, which was great, and then Jack 2 suddenly gets uber serious. And like Jack actually speaks in this one, and his first line is "I'm gonna kill that motherfucker" or something like that, like, which is said by this pointy-eared man with a little ocelot like on his next thing, or otzel. Sorry, it's an ocelot mixed with an otter. I think.
Okay.
Or no, a weasel mixed with an ocelot. It's an otzel.
It's an otzel. Okay.
But then they made the Uncharted games. Like, hey, we're having fun again. It's fucking Indiana Jones. And then like the last thing that I think that they've majorly worked on was the Last of Us series, which is just utterly depressing. I actually like the first season. I think this was definitely a better version of like because this had higher stakes, because unlike the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action, when you watched that, I could convince you to watch the cartoon.
Right.
And there's no level here of like, you don't play video games, haven't played a video game since like, I don't know.
They're fundamentally different engagement styles. Like
Right.
getting me to watch the cartoon of Avatar versus the live
I
action
suppose
is
it would
still
be easier to get you to watch just a compilation of cutscenes
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah, and the main reason is that like I'm not your maid, drizzle it on for me. Like I'm not writing this fucking show. Like
Right.
I don't want to play a third of the show that I'm like
Mhm.
if I want someone to tell me, if I go to a stand-up comedy thing, I don't want to be pulled up from the audience and brought into an improv skit.
Right.
I'm the audience, motherfucker. I'm paying you.
So on one level, this
So I don't want games. I want
Last of
stories
Us-
told to me.
Last of Us lends itself to television, prestige television, in a way that a lot of games can't, because so many games involve choice and kind of a faceless avatar as the main protagonist.
Yeah, you said this is battles and cutscenes.
So
right?
this is battles and cutscenes, and there is no choosing a different thing. Like, there's just the one story they want to tell, and the story they want to tell is that humanity's not going to survive, and maybe they don't deserve to.
Yeah. And I like the premise that the core thing in us that makes us humanity, like whatever's neat and special, like our ability to deeply care about one another and make things personal, is
Our individuality.
It's what's worth saving. It's
Mhm.
also what's going to get us killed. It's what dooms us.
Mhm.
And I'm really impressed watching this first season with how consistently they hammer that theme of Joel losing his daughter in episode 1.
Yeah.
So that you slowly understand, and they repeat it over and over. You see so many moments that push Joel towards the decision he's going to have to make in the last episode. So that when it happens, there's nothing else he could have done. I binged them all basically over a couple of days, and so I was skipping a lot of the recaps because I just fucking watched it. I got to that last episode, and it starts out with, it's a full recap. It's the end of the season of 1, right? And Joel's holding Sarah, his daughter,
Yeah.
and he's running towards the checkpoint and yelling, they're starting to run towards him with the guns, and he's yelling, we're not infected, we're not infected. And I hit skip recap just as he turned, and it skipped to the end of the recap, which is him standing with Ellie's body.
Yeah.
As they run up on him. And like the shot was almost, I don't know that I would have noticed it if not for the recap, but the shot's the same.
Well,
and you realize that in Joel's mind, it doesn't matter if it's Ellie or Sarah. He's holding the same girl. He's holding Sarah.
Yeah.
And he cannot let her die.
But this time, he's not a schmuck. I have a
Right.
gun underneath here.
Right. But also the surgery they needed to do. I feel like the show is very, very carefully planned out for how mad they need you to be at who and where they need things to sit, because the surgery for her is very particular. She doesn't even know that they didn't tell her what she's going to do.
Right.
They just told her some tests or whatever, and they put her to sleep because the part they need to cut out of her is her brain. When he goes, wait, cordyceps grows in the brain. Yep. We're going to remove the cordyceps infected part. Her brain. Yep. That's what I said. And like, no, you're not saying it. Have you told her? And like, no,
Marlene,
they really line it out really nicely.
Marlene trying to be as nice as she can in this monstrous moment. And honestly, it's the most heroic the Fireflies have ever been, because this will save the world. I don't know. They probably would have used it to their own advantage as well, but like, it would have given humanity a fighting chance.
Right. Insulin was a $1 patent, but look where we are.
Right. But she didn't think it was right to just kill Joel.
Right.
But as the audience, you're like,
you can't let him
nah,
free.
man, you got...
When she's like, take him to the road and leave him, like,
no, you got to put one into the back of his head right now.
Yep. Because as soon as he fucks the distance up as they're marching him down the stairs, and he's got those guys. I don't have time for this. Bam.
Yeah.
Blam. And then I love the show uses consistent tricks to teach not tricks, but they consistently do things to teach the audience what we're doing. And one of the things that it does consistently is drop the sound out of any action that can't be fun.
Yeah.
And so when Joel kills his way through 18 fireflies and a doctor to rescue Ellie, that drops away to silence. We don't hear those gunshots. He's just a man dead inside.
Well,
it's numb.
It gives it a foregone
Right.
conclusion, like a numb thing. Like it's. I thought it was very smart of like teaching the audience of like, we know that this is the only thing that can happen.
Yes.
So why even aggrandize it?
Right.
You know,
And they do the same thing when
it's very matter of fact.
not during Abby's beatdown of Joel, but the actual final blow. They cut the sound away there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was like, you hear her punches and stuff, but they cut the sound away when she stabs him.
Yeah, it's one of the touches of the show that I actually prefer over the games, in the fact that they give it a little more zhuzh and cinematic.
It's really slick. It's very well done.
So
I was still not in the mood for an apocalypse show, but I cannot imagine one being better put together than this.
Spoilers for season 2 going forward.
Absolutely.
But, you know, Abby, the new character in this one, wants vengeance against Joel.
Right.
Because she's the daughter of the surgeon from the first season. The only guy that could actually possibly do this. Hey, how many fucking neurosurgeons?
That they're already talking about it like...
Hey, guess what we're not making more of?
Anymore.
Fucking neurosurgeons.
Yeah. At the graves when they're like, yeah, and I heard that the girl was shut up. Don't ever say that out loud again.
Don't ever say that out loud again. Well, and I was shocked to see that as the first scene, and I was like, because in the game... You meet these people, they seem to be after somebody, you don't know who it is, and they get saved by Joel and his brother.
Mm-hmm.
His brother's there, not Dina in the game. But I think Dina was actually an interesting addition to show that she has a relationship with Joel as well. And then all of a sudden, someone says Joel's name, and the whole fucking room changes.
Yeah.
Like,
and not having played the game, other than you telling me that it's handled without it's held back as a reveal.
You get halfway through the game before you get that.
That didn't
context.
bother me at all. Like that whole episode worked just as well.
Well, they had such a backlash to it that the voice actress Laura Bailey for that character in the game says she thinks that they changed it in the show so that there's not as much of a backlash against that actress that's playing Abby because everyone loves Joel so much, and that points to me as well that, and it's a pretty highly reviewed episode, although it is the one with like the fucking 2 towers of mushroom zombies. I think because so many people in their right to think that was the only way that first season could end. Like you get to that moment that Joel murders that doctor and takes Ellie out of there is like, that's the only way this story ends. They conflate that with that was a good thing that happened.
No, and that Joel doomed the world. No. Yeah.
No.
That's a bad thing. Yeah.
Like, I would definitely, I'm pretty sure our friends like Randy would think that, no, fuck the world, that's his kid. And I'm like, cool. There's a lot of kids in the world, and now my kid dies.
Yeah, to me, the brilliance of the show is that it's both. For Joel, it is the right move. That's his kid.
Right.
Also, Joel's the villain here. He's in the wrong. To me, the reason that the reason to do it the way they did it in the show is that, having not played the game, what the fuck is season 2 going to be about? You've doomed the world, and I'm just watching you sit around with your thumbs up your ass until we die of cordyceps.
Right.
Like, I don't know what season 2 is supposed to be about. So to me, opening with, season 2 is about the fallout from season 1. Everyone you did leave alive is fucking hunting you.
Yeah.
That even though we pull the rug out from under at the end of Ep 2, like we don't let it last. To me, it's 2 smart things. You gave me a no, calm down. There's a plan for season 2. There's things to happen. There's more story than you realize. Right. Here's the characters we're gonna follow. And I'm like, okay, all right, I see where we're going in season 2. We're gonna learn about Jackson Hole. We got the remainder Firefly people out there. I can see what's gonna come together in 8 or 9 episodes. 2? Fuck.
Yeah.
And so it felt like a 1-2 punch of like calming me down with what is season 2 gonna be about, and then the thing I always love of plot boldness.
Yeah.
Like
going for it.
Yeah, just going for it. So to me, that's why they did it. But I didn't realize until you were telling me about it, the amount of backlash they caught on the game. And I don't doubt that factored in. It had to have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like we're a beloved game franchise, except for this one data point. What did we do there?
Right.
Well, fuck. Don't do that again.
Well, we had a woman as a main character for a minute, I guess.
Without telling anybody why? Are you mad?
Well, it's like, yeah, you're allowed to hate her in the game, and it shouldn't have translated to real life to the actress. Like,
dude,
that
that's
sucks.
fucked up. That's just.
But you should. I kind of thought it was interesting to hate her and then realize why she did it.
Right, because I'm fully sympathetic. Like I don't even on the show. Like
'Cause
I don't like Abby, but I get it.
Because the story in the game is that you're on Ellie's side, she's totally justified in her revenge. And then you slowly see it from Abby's perspective and go, oh, well, now I don't know who's
right.
You're both right, but also we can't keep doing this.
And I believe we're supposed to understand that Catherine O'Hara knows the real secret now, right?
Yeah.
We don't see him. I don't think we see him say
No, he
it.
says, I saved her. I don't think she knows something's up. I don't think she knows exactly
the full
what it is.
thing, yeah.
Although I did like that scene.
Now that he's dead, yeah, it was great. But now that he's dead, we have to have a way for that information to still get out.
Well, also, I like that they mentioned Jean and like, well, it's a fucked up way to go, but there's no saving him, right? And like, you see why Ellie is mad at Joel and is kind of mad at everybody.
She doesn't know. Like, Joel flat out lied to her about...
that they haven't revealed that yet, but like they'll be flashing around.
Okay.
How Pedro Pascal is going to be in more of this season because they're going to flash back.
Flashbacks? Okay.
So there's going to flash back a little earlier, and you're going to see. We didn't see all of that day.
Okay. So there's more that he admits to her, clarifies, or
so there's
context,
more,
or
and we didn't see all of those 5 years.
Yeah.
There's a point before
we
that.
time jumped ahead 5 years. Boom.
Because
I kept thinking like. There's no other than somewhere deep down she fucking knows.
Somewhere deep down she fucking knows. They have it out at some point.
But as far as I've seen right now, she shouldn't be mad at him. It just didn't work. Oh well, won't. We tried.
Right. Her being angry at that level is honestly, I thought they might have.
Unless I missed a fucking single line.
It's all in subtext because it's like, no, she's mad at you to a level like, what did you do? And like when the therapist asked that, I think that's where I like, but also like I inferred that, yeah, she must
like things don't add up.
Well, like to her, like I guess it only made sense to me of like she is so mad at Joel, she can only be this mad at him for this reason, so she must have found out.
Yeah,
and we haven't seen the scene where she does that yet,
and I was willing to just chalk it up to Joel doesn't know how to be around her anymore and hasn't for 5 years.
No, they actually spend a pretty nice amount of time together.
Well, it's still awkward when he's trying to change the guitar strings.
Right.
It feels desperate. Like, I think this is what they wanted. It feels like where one person knows they should feel guilty about something and the other person doesn't. And so Joel's like, well, I could do this for you and I could help with this. And like, calm the fuck down, dude. Like,
well, I liked,
what are you overcompensating for?
Well, that's why I like Dina was an interesting character. Like in the game,
and they could show how he's got like a normal relationship with her. Yeah.
In the game, she's actually a lesser character, and in here, or not lesser character in the beginning because she actually goes on Ellie's adventure.
Mm-hmm.
But she's Ellie's love interest, and
that was all fun.
But this time they kind of made her best friend beforehand, which they didn't do before. And I think that adds an interesting. Like, oh man, I love watching fucking Viper and Core, whatever
that stupid franchise is.
Dumb franchise with like a ninja on the cover. I don't know. And
I love that they've been besties. She's been broke up with their other bestie for like 2 weeks, and he knows.
Yeah. Oh, he knows. Yeah.
Him giving her shit the next morning of like, that was fucked up, dude. I mean, we've been broke up like a week. Like you had to oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like it just, man, I'm fucking with you.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I don't care. Dude. Man, his delivery on the I don't care was like, he stops to like, man, you're the worst. And like, she about to say,
that is pretty fucked up
what you did though.
Just saying, it's pretty fucked up though. Yeah, no, that was all fucking perfect.
That felt like they're at a relationship of like him and Dina are like, okay, so that relationship it's been fizzling on and off for a point.
And you've been slowly realizing that your girlfriend's gay for a minute.
And so now it's, or at least it's fizzled to a point where no, it's actually cool now. Like all guardrails are gone. Like
I loved Joel charging out to protect her from the drunk
homophobe. He came out from nowhere,
dude, and side tackled him.
And I was like, where were you? And obviously
you leapt from wherever you were.
And also, obviously, you're only here watching Ellie.
Right.
Because like,
and then her wheeling on him of like, I don't need you to do that for the fuck, man.
Like I think he got the full word out, but like also I kind of remember it in my mind that he only got die out and then didn't get the K.
Yeah,
like,
subtitles. He got the said, but yeah, no. Joel
he's
literally
so
like,
fast.
You left the ground from where you didn't take a running step. You just jumped from wherever you were.
Yeah,
like because he hits him sideways,
launched himself.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, and I liked her just like that.
I don't need your fucking help.
This show does. For the amount of time that it has with characters talking and everything, this show gets a lot done in like really quick scenes. Like there's for a lot of hanging out times, and so like we've talked about, like it can't do zombies every episode, but when it does, it goes all out, which is great.
Oh yeah,
great. But it also does. I feel like a lot of times a show that has this much time for two characters to just wander around and chat, you don't have to get to the point of a fucking scene. You can just let them fucking ramble or whatever. And this does both. This both has a lot of time of just hanging out together on the road in little small moments, but they all feel important and they all feel very revealing.
Well, they're
when
all
he finally
layered.
in season 1, when she finally gets him with a fucking pun.
Yes.
And like, not because the joke's any good, but because he's so tired that when she says, did you know that diarrhea runs in your or diarrhea is hereditary.
Yeah.
And he like, really? Like you can tell he's falling for
Yeah.
it for just a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, it runs in your genes.
Fuck-
You can just see a
fuck
part
you.
of him die. Like,
well, like he gets to a point where like I cannot care about this kid, and then it gets to the point of like Tommy, take him. I'm weak.
Yep.
I can't watch this kid die because
Yep.
I'm too old and fucked up. And man, at that point, like he gives a great Pedro Pascal is giving a great fucking
There are
performance.
great speeches and great
And-
performances, man.
And also, like, oh my god, if this is you weak, I'd hate to see you in your fucking prime, you
Right?
goddamn monster.
Right? Oh man, the amount of times in season 1 where she's like, no, that's just his voice. He just sounds
Nope,
like an asshole.
He just,
has asshole voice.
He just has an asshole voice. Don't fucking shoot us.
Tell him everything's fine,
Tell
Joel.
him everything's fine.
God damn it,
Man.
Joel. Yeah.
Hey, Joel, say congratulations.
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 What the fuck is
Man,
wrong with
Joel,
you, man?
man, trying to like fucking, you got to work with me.
You're gonna
here.
let me and my little brother go, right? Sure. It's a weird fucking tone, man.
I don't like that. But
Yeah.
also, it reflects back later when he tells her about the story of like the guy where he got his scar, like the
Mhm.
guy that shot at me and missed. It was me.
Yeah, that was fucking good.
And I liked that in this season. It's all small conversations, and you're like, they're all layered with another thing.
Yeah.
Like everything about even her conversations with Jack and like Dina is talking about either Dina or everyone always mentions like, hey, so I can't help but notice that you and Joel are a little tense. Like you all, and like all she can just like, we're fine.
We're fine. We're good.
And like that's all every fucking conversation seems
Right,
to
right.
like, okay. like,
Yeah, I really enjoy the writing on the show. I wish I was a little more in the mood for a post-apocalypse show because it's really not fair to the quality of this fucking show that I'm
well,
in the same way that like This Is Us might be exceptional. I have never been in the mood.
right. I never actually watched Schindler's List.
Really, it is very good.
Well, you know when I'm never in the, you know when on a Saturday afternoon, you know what I've never,
hour fucking bummer.
you know what I've never said is that you know what I'm in the mood for? The Holocaust.
Oh man, but there's this little girl in a red coat. And she dies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Because,
no,
like-
I get it.
But even the zombie action on the show
Dude,
is
it's the best thing since World War Z without having to watch World War Z.
right with all like the dumb shit around
Right,
it.
right.
Like,
Because the
I say that liking World War Z.
the siege of Jackson Hole is fucking awesome.
Oh man.
Awesome. Not even a
Crazy
siege,
stuff.
just the whatever that is, the fucking Battle of Helm's Deep of it.
Oh yeah.
But watching that the zombies are getting smarter, the
Mm-hmm.
cordyceps that there's like laying underneath their own corpses, so you might walk across what you think are a field of dead bodies, and there's more underneath.
Yeah.
That's great. So you
Good
get these
stuff.
ground swells, but then watching the two swarms independently realize to change direction at the same time,
Yeah.
it looked like a murmuration of birds.
Yes.
Like when birds just shift around a building.
Yeah.
I've never seen that in a zombie movie. It's great. I also love that they constantly run over each other. Like they'll run and trip and break an arm and they don't care. They just
Right.
get up and stumble.
Well, it's what makes these zombies different. They seem to really be pointing that out and using that to their advantage. That this is a fungus. It's all they're not a bunch of zombies. It's one thing.
It needs your nervous system alive when it starts. But from there, it's running you.
Right.
It doesn't just infect a corpse that's already laying there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're alive, it's going to grow in your brain, and then it's going to run your body like a puppet.
Right.
But it doesn't really give a fuck how your body bends or
No.
what.
Well, it's going to replace most of you with more fucking fungus until you're one of those
That
goddamn
bloater thing.
bloater.
Yeah, and the more fungus they get, the stronger.
Right, or at least the more dense, like they can take fucking bullets.
Man, for a moment, I was going to get so mad at Marlene. Is that her?
No, that's
No.
the Firefly chick.
No, that's what that finds Ellie, right? Like, is that who rescues Ellie in the first place?
In the first episode of the first season?
No, the baby from the fucking mother. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's Marlene.
that's Marlene, right?
Yeah.
When she looks at her and is like, "I can't kill you," and then she walks out of the room with
Yeah.
that baby, and I was like,
Hey, yo,
"So
fuck
I
you.
already don't really like you as a character,
But
but
come back here.
Fuck you forever.
Hey,
Don't you let me like. You need to shoot me now before I'm part of that fucking hive mind.
yeah.
I will." If you wonder why the mushrooms seem personally mad at you,
Yeah.
I am adding this to the
I'll
fucking.
edit. Oh, I swear to God.
I'm gonna figure out a way to get this in the fold, man.
No,
like-
she does come back.
And
like,
but I did like that it was just a like cover the baby's ears. I can't shoot a gun right
did you
over a
catch who
baby.
that actress was?
Is that Tara? No, that's not. Tara's in Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
no. The actress that plays Ellie's mom is
Oh,
Ashley,
yes.
Ashley Johnson,
Yes. No. She's
who plays Ellie in the game.
okay. Is that who it is?
Mhm.
Man, because they look great. Like they look
Right.
remarkably like mother and child. Like I think they did a great job.
I think they did a great job.
But yeah, no, I was wondering who that was because I've seen. I want to say I've seen her in some other stuff.
Yeah, well, actually, she was in that first. She's actually cut and deleted scenes from the first Avengers movie. Can you believe that?
Weird.
The waitress that was in love with Cap, or supposed to,
Okay.
like, that was supposed to have like a romance with Cap.
Okay,
they
that's her.
They completely cut her scenes.
Yeah, 'cause,
Totally
yeah,
fucked.
she's great. That whole scene was fucking awesome. It's stuff like that is part of why I don't know why they didn't do the way they do the game for. Even though I really liked the Firefly graves and setting all of that up at the start of the second season, I don't understand why they didn't just do it the way the game was because they've already taught me that trick 4 or 5 times already.
Yeah.
We open on a person that I'm like, who the fuck
Yeah.
is
Who
that?
are you?
And I know now after 5 or 6 times
Yeah. This will come back.
this will come like who the fuck are Bill and Frank? Who the fuck are
Yeah.
the Indian doctor or Pakistani doctor at the start? Who the fuck is any of these people?
Yeah.
Fucking John Hannah at the start of the first episode. They come back.
Yeah. The story's going to dovetail back into what this has to do with Joel
Right,
or whatever.
right.
But I think that maybe that's what it bothered me was it felt like a distrust of the audience. Like,
Yeah, and I would say it does stem from that. I think I just having not played the game, I didn't mind being handed a little bit of a.
well, it feels like it's a
if I wasn't sure if we got a season 2 because you guys had anything to say after Joel saves Ellie, or if we got a season 2 because HBO was like, "Fuck you, feed the cash cow more." You
Well,
know,
it
like
feel- yeah.
if I didn't know there was a second game with more real story, but
Yeah.
you'd said like they have a season 3 approved, like greenlit already,
do they?
but there's no third game.
Like I
So
know
where
they
are
don't
we
have a
going?
third game, but I didn't know there was already a third season.
I think according to the wiki, there's a third season.
Oh fuck. Well, honestly, it might be time to switch main characters then.
Well, and so
like-
that's I realized in the first episode back this for season 2 that we time jumped and you need to sell me on Ellie and her girlfriend and their buddy and Jackson and like all these people because whatever we're doing with Joel's story, it's got to fade out.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's even still alive, he's done
Right. Well, also he cannot.
unless you start something brand new with him.
Well, it's a story where in the first story, like the character in no way grows or changes. He actually reverts back to what he was before, and it's actually worse. You know, there's no amount of Joel learning to where he would get to a point where he would have been the kind of guy that would sacrifice Ellie. You know,
right.
which is kind of like the only way his story. I actually like that he wants to not let as many people into Jackson Hole, because he's like we don't have enough space.
Yeah, I'd let them all in if I could.
let them all if I could, but like, hey,
I may be
we
wrong.
gotta
Maybe they
we
don't
gotta
exist.
build. We gotta build faster. Oh, okay. You want to turn the building fucking crank? That's how fast it works. It's fucking magic. Love that his brother comes in, like tell her about the crank. That they obviously have a little contracting joke. Man, contractors were cool. Everyone loved contractors.
Officially confirmed, season 3.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what they'll do.
No one knows.
Yeah, no one's
That's what
fucking knows
everybody's
that.
like, what the fuck will it be about? Who knows?
Honestly, I've seen Fallout work now to where like, okay,
Right.
you don't have to have video game material, like
Right.
the actual story material. And also, this world is cool. Like
It really is. It really is.
The zombies, how they work and interact is fucking
And
awesome.
you said that's already technically past the game.
Yeah.
Like the smart cordyceps that
Oh, they don't
that
introduce
she
the
runs
smart
into,
cordyceps
like-
at all.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you said there's also things that would make it unworkable in this world in real life. I think if they were exploding spores,
Yeah.
these people aren't smart enough to live through that.
No, that's it. It kind of would be done. It's just another way for to reveal that Ellie's immune. Is that
She can walk through.
She's suddenly walking through a place that no one should be able to walk through.
Right.
You know,
And honestly, they get that across she's
Having
been
been
bit
bit,
twice
yeah.
now,
You-
which is great.
you can get it across. Yeah, I think there was a point where she saves Dina without a
Mm-hmm.
mask on from a spot with all that, and she's like, "What the fuck? You killed yourself to like save?" Like she thinks it's a big romantic gesture. Like, no. I gotta like,
yeah,
I'll explain.
what?
Like, we gotta get out of here right now, but I'll like
yeah.
tell you why this isn't a problem.
So I wasn't in the mood to watch it. I'm glad I did, and I will be finishing out season 2, partly because I've just made a huge time investment. There's a sunk cost
Right.
fallacy here, but also it's really fucking good.
Mhm. Gotta warn you, I don't think they'll be using those dogs again.
Don't think so. Probably not.
But those were fucking cool.
Fuck man, the
Goodest boys.
goodest boy army was the
Goodest boy.
shit. I love it. Yeah.
Well, that whole stage of defense was really cool.
Right, all of it. Just watching the siege, or watching the defenses and the fallbacks and like the
Yeah.
plan and everything.
Those
that
fucking
whole thing was
flamethrower
badass.
bitches.
Oh man, those
Fucking-
fuck them 2 dudes, man. I hope.
God damn it! At
hope
least
you're both-
leave the fucking tank, you dick.
dude, you dicks. Yeah, fuck both of y'all. Yeah, I loved all of that, and we still haven't discussed the thing I finally watched that is what everybody discussed fucking years ago now. The Bill and Frank episode.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The-
That was
Season one is uniformly incredibly good. It never rises to that episode again until until 8 and 9. Like
Yep.
the last 2 episodes, when we finally get at that point, Ellie and Joel's relationship is tight enough that they're just fucking firing on all cylinders when they're with each other.
Mhm.
And then we finally get there, and then Joel kills his way through all of the Fireflies. It is jaw-dropping 2 episodes. It's the best it gets, except for that one episode. Finding out that Craig Mason worked on Mythic Quest, I don't know
Yep.
that he wrote any of the one-off episodes, but it makes total fucking sense.
I think that's where he learned it.
Because you took, like, this is already the best apocalypse show that I can imagine done, considering I don't really want to watch it, but you just got to acknowledge this is fucking good.
Right.
This episode is what I would rather be watching a different show not set in an apocalypse, and then they did my entire apocalypse show in one move.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't technically need the rest of Last of Us.
Right.
Like, you showed me everything I wanted to see about living through a cordyceps apocalypse in 2 dudes falling in love.
Honestly, their story has a nicer ending. Like, you realize that
Oh, they win.
yeah, as much as anyone can in this world, they get to die of basically old age
Mm-hmm.
in bed together.
Right. I hate to say it, I thought of it later because we had talked about that like it is sad, but they technically they get a win. You get choosing how to die and choosing not to become part of the cordyceps hive or whatever.
Now, as far as ways to die, that's as good as it
No,
gets.
this
here.
is as good as this world can
Like,
can
that's
afford
it.
you anymore. This is where we are. and I hate to say it, I thought of it when Abby stabs Joel was,
Could have been worse.
do I consider this a win because he didn't become Mushroom?
Right.
And I was like, fuck, I hate to say it, but if I was living in that world, I would count every death that isn't cordyceps as a win.
Well,
I
you'd
don't care
have-
how I go out,
Well, you'd have to at least.
but I want to go out. Like, I don't care how I leave this mortal coil, but I leave.
It's definitely one of those things of like, man, I barely want to live in a world right now. I
Right.
don't think I want to go back to fucking no electricity. Like,
Right. But also, like, I don't like other people enough to want to join with them in a mycelium hive mind.
well, that's what was great about Bill and Frank. Like, Bill was like, the world ended and I didn't much care. Fucking hated it.
Yeah. And then I found out I was wrong. There was one person
One
worth saving.
person
So that's
worth
what I
saving.
did. Save who you can.
and
And he means Tess.
And the reflection back of like, we're both bastards.
We're the
like,
same motherfucker.
We're the same guy.
Yeah.
Heaven help anyone like
that we both hated the world, and weirdly that gave us the skill set to survive and help.
Like, it's not our job to be, it's our job to save the people worth saving.
Right. And I love the subtle, Joel seems dead inside, and so you think he's the right guy to pick to do this.
Nope.
But it's actually
better / worse
both because of that and not because of that. Yeah, he is dead inside, and consequently, if you light one spark in him, he will not be able to extinguish it for you later.
No.
So like you lit a spark to get him to care enough about Ellie to keep her alive across the country, but then you need him to extinguish that spark to save humanity. And I'm telling you, now that you have relit hope in this man, you will never get him to kill it again.
Well, even Tess she has hope for the different reason of like, Tess, it's over or whatever. Like, no, this is it. There's finally just
a way out,
little bit of a hope left. And Joel doesn't have hope for humanity in the same way she does.
No. So what if we save everybody? We're still humanity.
So what? Fuck.
So like, yeah, like you can tell that Joel's idea of like making it so that we don't have to really learn any lesson about the Cordyceps somehow is not going to work for him.
There is a level of what you will do for the people you love, and that's always to a certain point, it's an admirable trait, and then all of a sudden it becomes monstrous.
But there's always a just made up line.
Because it's like...
Because, like, I will do anything to help my family, and I can also sit next to a homeless person at a stoplight.
Honestly, it was Spartacus, like, this blood and sand that had me give this live. John Hannah in that was talking to Spartacus, and he's like, okay, like, man, I told you that if you would fight for me, I would give you back your wife. How many men would you kill to hold your wife again? 100? 1,000? I would kill them all.
I'd kill every man. Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
And that is the level of...
You know, Joel would kill the planet to save Ellie. He does. Like, and literally does.
Right. Right.
Also, side note, has John Hannah ever been bad in anything?
I don't know.
Like, not that I can prove to me that he has. I don't think you can.
Honestly, I don't know if he's ever been in a bad movie. Was John Hannah in it? It sounds like a pretty good movie.
Sounds like it's getting better as we speak. like Four Weddings and a Funeral might be the shittiest movie John Hannah's ever been in.
Yeah.
I did not really want to sit down and watch this week, and I can't be anything but glad I did. It's so good.
There's definitely more plot stuff to happen. I'm interested to see, like, because they switching the order around on stuff. I'm interested to see, like, how does it work knowing now that is it going to be kind of tedious watching Ellie try to learn a thing that the audience kind of already knows? Right.
I'm curious how they're gonna drop that knowledge, because
how much do we follow Abby and her crew
after
versus like,
right. I really don't know. Honestly, to me, it felt like such a fun misdirect to set that up as if it's a season bad, like as if Abby's a season long big bad that's going to track him for a while,
right? And
then resolve it at Ep 2. I'm interested to see how they handle the flashback fallout. You know,
I do like that it's dumb luck too. Just
right.
Like
the look on her face when he says Joel or somebody yells Joel,
right?
And like,
yeah, hey, I got friends up in the tower.
And then when she walks in, like, yeah, her name's Ellie and his name's Joel, and the whole room changes. Yeah, like you said, like in the game, like somebody says his name in the whole room.
Supposed to still get the same moment. It's just that you don't know why it's happening.
Right. You don't quite know why.
Because I like the reveal. Like, I don't know why you'd give up that reveal other than like to try and mitigate how much they actually hate. Because they show that Abby didn't, like, the Jacksonville got the root thing so that the zombies don't attack Jacksonville because of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like they're trying to bend over backwards so that later you can sympathize with Abby.
I think I would assume that for those of us watching HBO who hadn't played the game, that they just wanted to show us that season 2 isn't a clean break, and hope you like Jackson. If you don't, bail after Ep 1. Because if not, I don't know that if not for that start, I don't know that I would have known that we weren't that season 2 wasn't the Jackson season, and that a portion of us in the audience wouldn't have decided whether or not we were still down for this show. You know, like, well, okay, I was watching it when it was escaping the fireflies and the girl. That's the plot of the game. But now we're just fucking around in Jericho or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do love that. Like, even the speechifying at a certain point, she speechifies it so much that like, yeah, and then my father. Would you just shut up and fucking get it
when
done?
Joel's like, shut the fuck up and kill me.
I don't give a fuck about any of this.
Yeah. Like, hey man, I didn't really even look at your dad when I killed him. Can we just do that?
I do love that he like knows
He's
who
basically nodding.
knows who she is, which is another thing the game doesn't do.
Oh yeah, when she tells it, he's like, yeah, no, you should kill me. Like he's just everything but nodding with her.
So whatever. Like fucking, I don't know what we're still doing, still talking.
Right. I am a terrible person.
Like
I have felt like I deserve if.
But
like,
also,
if Joel weren't waking up every day to keep several other people alive, Joel hates himself.
Like, hey, go ahead and swing away, baby. But also, this makes you me.
Right. Straight up.
Because man, everyone else in her crew.
And when they walk out of that room and leave Ellie alive, and I'm like, hear me out, guys. I know you don't want to think of yourself.
Marlene,
you barely did the revenge killing. You don't want to think of yourselves as the people that also killed a 19-year-old.
Well, I can only imagine is because so many of them didn't seem on board, even with the killing Joel part.
But I was like, man, clearly this is a post-apocalyptic generation that hasn't seen Kill Bill. Because if you think you can come after me, fucking do it.
Also, I could only imagine that they're too used to like traveling in this world is so dangerous. There's no way a person could possibly follow us to wherever
when
we're going.
Marlene's like, I had 5 bodyguards and barely made it here. How the fuck did
you get here?
Like, that bitch is crazy. Also, somebody gave a baby a switchblade. I don't know. She's been good with it. Yeah, I enjoyed watching it. I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of the season, and I'm with everybody. I don't know what season 3 does.
Yeah, I'd be very interested.
Shit, I don't know what the rest of season 2 does.
I don't know.
They're gonna kill Joel.
Like I haven't.
Gypsy was right.
I feel like I haven't seen Naughty Dog in a while, but yeah. If they're gonna do a third game or not? But yeah, I think that wraps it up for this week for us.
Yeah, went a little bit long, but Last of Us was so fucking good. Also, none of y'all told me about that. It was super good. Season 1, nobody mentioned it. I'm mad. Randy, where were you on that? It's going to wrap it up. Tune in next week where we talk about...
Hacks.
Hacks, that's right. Hacks Season 4.
I literally left it off my diaries because I knew we were going to talk about it.
Indeed. I've been... Fanny had not finished Season 3, so we caught her up on that.
Want to watch them try and save late night.
Yes. I don't know that that's possible, but God love them. They're going to try. I do like them explaining to her that, like, no, it's not between...
It wasn't you and another guy.
It was you and we're
no
done
show
with
at
this.
all.
Yeah. It's like on the Saturday Night Live movie where they're like, well, we'll just wait a week. And like, no. It's not wait a week. It's
no.
You're just a pissing contest between the network running Carson reruns.
Yeah.
Like no. Yeah. But until next time.
TV Dudes out.